Hello and welcome to my new house and future studio slash retro games room slash editing den. I've talked about it a little bit in some previous videos, and particularly one, I think it was early this year or late last year, late last year I think, where I talked about the end of the retro gaming room for now, and that I was moving back into my parents' place to look after it while they traveled, and we could save some money up and buy our own house. And as of 24 hours ago, we've done that. The housing market at the moment is cooked, but we made our way through it. And here we are. I thought I'll give you just a bit of a starting tour of sort of what I plan to do, because like I said, something just fell over somewhere. We're still in the process of moving in. Let's see what fell over. See, there's like boxes and stuff everywhere. Oh, it's okay. It's just a bag of shoes. You know, don't have a living room yet. Don't have a dining room yet. Don't really have a functioning kitchen yet. So, in previous incarnations, there's been two rooms. There's been one for the retro gaming and one for the editing slash studio. In this case, I've only got one room, but one room and a hallway. So I'm going to try my best to merge them into one space, which is kind of what I've always wanted anyway. So basically, and hopefully it's not too much of a squeeze, the idea is to line this with shelves and put my games collection along here. It's only going to be me using this hallway, so it's not like it impacts anyone else. I don't think I'll mind particularly too much. Like, I don't know, that toolbox there, that's probably about the thickness of those white shelves that were in my previous retro games rooms. I can walk past that pretty comfortably. So, I don't know, we'll see how we go. And this is a 3-bedroom place, so obviously one bedroom that we share is a bedroom, and then basically another room each to do as we want, you know, hobbies, play video games, etc. I guess playing a video game is a hobby. I chose this one specifically because it doesn't have a wardrobe. And obviously my partner's probably better off having the wardrobe anyway. But that means it gives me 1, 2, 3 and a bit, and sort of that wall there to just put my desks, put like a little corner to play, or I can set up a little TV so I can play the retro games, stuff like that. It basically just gives me more wall space. And yeah, that's pretty much the plan so far. Obviously, these boxes are all full of retro games. They've all been in storage for the last, 7 or 6 months. And yeah, I haven't brought the desk over yet. That's sort of the last thing in this room that needs to be brought over. I've started bringing over the computer stuff. I also had the idea of putting in floating floating shelves, like all the way around the top. And basically, that's where I'll keep my consoles. So you may remember my little blue table that I had. That's going to go into the corner there somewhere. And basically, whenever I need a console, I can sort of just pop it off the shelf, plug it in. You know, the Retro Tink or the OSSC, it's all plugged in there. It's all ready to go. So yeah, that's the intro to, was this Retro Games Room version 5? I think it's 5. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so that first shot was filmed on a Tuesday. It is now the Sunday. We're well and truly moved in now. Still need to do some other odds and ends. We don't even have a bed yet. It's just a mattress on the floor. Now, backs are really starting to feel it. But anyway, let's talk about how we're going in here. So as you can see, there's still a bit of work to do. Basically, yes, hello, Niles. Oi, get down there. Go on. Off, off, off. Yep. Keep going. What was I saying? Okay, so the computer setup, A, for sanity reasons, and B, because I do work from home. Originally, this desk was over here on this wall, and it fit perfectly from monitor to monitor, and then also including the computer as well. But unfortunately, this monitor here faced this window and received too much glare. In the previous office, where I was sort of just fitting myself into my dad's office and didn't want to move his desk, All my screens faced a window and the glare was just unbearable. I'd always have to pull the blinds down. The cat didn't like it and my eyes were really struggling working in a dark room all day. So I've decided to put this shelving unit here, which is kind of good next to the window actually, because this space more or less needs to stay open anyway, so I can quite easily walk in front of it and grab boxes out, assuming these aren't in the way, which they won't be. And also my little cabinet and 3D printer sort of fit nicely into there as well. So that's good, but obviously we still have quite a few boxes here, and all of these are full of games. So before I start setting up any more furniture, I need to get these boxes out of here. So the next thing I want to do, which is the plan for today, is build some of my shelves to go along this wall here, and then I can unpack the boxes and put the games in. So I've brought all those over. They're just the same. There's just two Billy bookcases from IKEA. But you might remember from the video where I was unpacking everything and I broke one of them. So that's supposed to look like that, this sort of nail screw thing sticking out. They all got ripped out. I have them, but they're just not where they're supposed to be. And I won't be able to screw them back in because all the wood's all been wrecked. So the plan for that is to maybe put some wood filler in, sand it down, and sort of just see how we go. And hopefully I can screw those back in. If it doesn't work, then IKEA still sell this shelf. It'd be nice to have the same one, but that just puts me down 130 bucks when I've sort of already bought the shelf. So yeah, I'm going to do that now and I'll report back once finished. Well, we have endured a catastrophic failure. So I was trying to put the shelf back together that wasn't damaged, and in the process managed to damage it. The exact same problem. I had it more or less looking like a shelf in a frame, and I tried to sit it upright and the whole thing just parallelogrammed and exploded. Look at all this carnage. So my cheapness into not wanting to get a moving van, I don't know why I'm filming that one's already broken. In my process of not wanting to pay for a moving van or a moving company and dismantling the shelves with the hope of reassembling them on location has failed. I mean, just about everything else has been fine so far, so I guess it is what it is, and it looks like they were damaged superficially, at least in transit. You see these scrape marks. I think that's from the other shelf where the nails stick up. It didn't look like that before I left my parents' place. So yeah, that's quite annoying. I'm gonna have to go buy new shelves now. At least I can sort of build them from scratch, and it's not like they were the most expensive shelves in the world, so, but it's just wasteful, you know. It's probably $300 worth of shelves that were perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with them, so I'll happily go and rebuy them. I'll probably go buy the exact same shelves, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit lost for words. It's just annoying is all. Anyway, there's plenty more things for me to do around the house that aren't related to the retro games room, so I guess for the time being, I will get cracking on with that stuff. Okay, here's where we're at, one IKEA trip later. We have two new Billy bookcases. Then we have this old one here, which I keep my big box PC games in. That's also from IKEA, but many years ago, and you know, just ignore that. And yeah, my glass cabinet. Don't have the glass shelves in there yet because I frankly don't know where they are, but I'll find them, just like a bazillion other things I'm currently on the lookout for. Anyway, now that those shelves are up, we can finally start unpacking these boxes. And once all these boxes are unpacked, And on the shelves, we can finally start setting up other furniture. Okay, it has now been about 10 days since settlement and the room is really coming along. So let's have a look. So obviously this bit you've already seen. That bit you've already seen. But I've made changes to the rest of the room. So I'll just move my chair out of the way and just back up a bit. Beep, 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 beep. Actually, gotta be careful because there's still shit on the ground. So basically we have the repair desk here, but this is going to double as a couple of different things. I haven't brought over my retro computers yet, but the plan is to put those down there. So then when I want to do retro PC stuff, that can turn into a desk for retro PC gaming goodness. Is my glide gear, of course, so it gets used for top-down filming shots. This fell during disassembly and managed to damage 3 things at once. It put a mark in the wall there. You can still see some plaster on the ground. I haven't vacuumed it up yet. It put a little ding in the ground. And it also managed to hit this TV and ding that as well. The TV is okay, which I'm actually kind of bummed about because I've been looking for a good excuse to replace it. It's okay for retro gaming, you know, especially when using the retro Tink and the OSSC, but it's only 720p. So it'd be nice to get something larger and maybe at least a 1080p. It's really hard to find small 4K televisions, which makes sense. It's not like you're going to be able to really tell the difference when it's so small. And I'm also going to be sitting pretty close to it as I'm gaming. But we've got a couple of shelves there. They can just be used for whatever console I'm using at the time. Got some storage there. So currently all my consoles and handhelds are in these plastic containers. The plan is to put in floating shelves all the way around. Probably double layers, so the bottom layer will have the handhelds with the handheld stands that I've 3D printed, with the consoles on the top so they act as a display piece, but also when I want to grab a console for whatever reason, for whatever video I'm playing, or if I just want to play something, I can grab it off the shelf, put it down there, replace whatever's exactly there, plug it into the OSSC or RetroTink, whatever is applicable, and off we go. The other major thing I've changed, or what's the word I'm looking for? The unpacking I've done, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it, is these shelves. So this is a bit awkward to film because of the way it runs down the hallway. But like I said, there is more than enough room for me to get through. So I found the shelves for the display case. I also found the plug to plug in the light. That took a while to find. That was at the very bottom of the very last box I unpacked for this room. And yeah, we've got the display boxes up there. This shelf, we've just got mostly PC games, and then my retro gamer collection down there. I've also got some other old video game magazines, mostly for the PlayStation, so they'll go in the remaining gap there. Hopefully they're not too tall and they fit. And then, yeah, we just have the entire collection unpacked for the first time in 6 or 7 months, which is great. Much rather have these on display than squirreled away in a box somewhere. A, because it makes it really difficult to find things when I want them, and B, it just feels wasteful just to have them stored away when they look so great displayed like this. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I was thinking of putting in like soundproofing wall-mounted thingers. I don't even know what they're called, but I think with all the shelving, along with my acoustic panels, which usually go behind the furniture, which I haven't brought over yet, I think it'll be okay. It's definitely not as echoey in here than it was. It's still a little bit echoey. Let's close the door. Oop, my bag's in the way. Hold on. How's the echo now? So yeah, it is still a bit echoey, which is obviously not ideal for voice recording, but for the first time ever, I can actually like mount stuff on the wall and whatnot. So the plan is to try and make this as less echoey and soundproof as possible. That's the dream anyway. Okay, so I've probably been thoroughly annoying my neighbors all day. I finally went down to Bunnings and bought a hammer drill, so I've been doing some stuff in this room today, but I've also been mounting solar lights all around the property, so yeah, sorry everyone. Anyway, we have some changes since my last shot. So you guys might remember this. This is actually designed to display Lego. So originally these slots, can I open that up? These slots here had like Lego platforms in them, and the idea is you could display your little figurines and whatever else. And I love Lego, but I love Game Boy more. So yeah, it's a bit how you doing, but pretty good for whatever it cost from Kmart. Just runs on AA batteries. So I took all those platforms out, donated them, and I 3D printed all these little holders for the games. I did create a video about it, so if you're interested in that project, I will link it in the description. But this is the first time I've been able to mount it on the wall like it's supposed to be. It was just sort of it was just on my console shelf, where my little cabinet thingo that had all my consoles on it, and sort of in the background and a bit in the way and sort of out of view. But this is way better. It's sort of now, try not to trip on anything, sort of now in a more sort of prominent position. I've also mounted a single shelf. So I only bought one of these just because I wanted to see how it would go. But these are only $13 from Kmart, and the reviews are really good. So I thought, you know what, I'll buy one, I'll see how it goes. And it was super easy for me to install, even for a novice like me. So I think I'm just going to buy a bunch of those. And as we can see, that's how the handhelds look. But I'm going to be putting more shelves up and down here, at least partly along here. There is a bank of PowerPoints. There's the kitchen behind that wall. So yeah, there may be a weird gap there, but that's the reason for that. And the reason this isn't totally centered is because same thing. I've got a PowerPoint on the left, an old that's not operational, but I think that's originally for telephone, I think. So yeah, and I just wanted to do you probably noticed around the room, I've got the acoustic panels again. So now that I'm starting to mount stuff on the wall, let's do an echo test. Echo, hello. I guess I should do it from down here since this is where I'll be recording audio. Echo. It's not too bad, but there's still a lot more shelves to go up. So yeah, every single thing I mount to the wall, the echo should get theoretically a little bit less. So we'll see how we go. Okay, and this is where we're at. Maybe a week or two after that last shot. I don't even know anymore. Time is irrelevant. Anyway, I did have some plans to do other stuff this afternoon, but those went tits up. So I decided to mount the rest of the shelves. And I've kind of been doing a few gradually and finish it off today. So 1, 2, and 3 are exactly the same as that first shelf. The $13 Little Wonders from Kmart, absolutely amazing. The one at the top here, I think that cost me $19. That's 1.1 meter long. So I've had to make a decision because these can't really hold that much weight. And to be honest, I'm a little bit on the fence about mounting shelves. I don't really like doing it. I don't really trust that they'll hold what they say they will. So I've changed course a little bit. So as it stands, these are the only shelves I'm going to mount. And these consoles have been put up here for a very specific reason. It's because they're old and very light. They've got nothing in them. So I've decided to put those up there. But for newer consoles, basically from, I don't know, the 5th generation or 6th generation onwards, you know, your GameCubes, your Dreamcasts, your 3DOs of the world, they are quite heavy. So it hasn't arrived yet. Well, what I've decided to do, and I've just bought this off Amazon, so I'm waiting for it to arrive. It's like this 6-tier square shelf. that should pretty much go, not quite to the ceiling, but pretty close to floor to ceiling. And that can hold all my sort of more heavier, newer consoles. And it'll be the same sort of setup. They won't be plugged in. I'm sort of sick of running wires everywhere. I'm done with that. As you can sort of see, with some of these, I've put like the power bricks and the video audio cables behind them. So the idea is when I want to use one, I can very easily just grab it off the shelf, grab the hookups, got Velcro, reusable Velcro strap things. So everything's nice and tidy, and it will be much the same for there. And I think once that's installed, I think I'm going to call it done on this project for now. No doubt I'll be adding bits and pieces here and there. There's some lighting I want to set up. I could probably still do that in this video because I've still got a bunch of lighting from the retro gaming room, which I can just bring over. Of course, will all need to be charged up, but for now, this video will just go on forever. So once that's set up, I think I'm going to call it, and it's going to be officially be the next revision of this games room. Okay, it's nearly been exactly a month since I started building this games room slash studio slash workshop, and I'm happy to say this will be the final shot of the video. I think I'm finally done for now. So I'll give you the overall tour. So here's my hallway and this hasn't really changed that much since the last time I showed it. It's all pretty much as is. But probably the biggest thing I've done is put up some lights, which I've forgot to turn on, which I was going to do before this shot, and this new shelf. So let's quickly do just that. Oh yeah. These are the same lights that were in my previous retro games rooms. And then one there and one there. How's that? So all the shelves are up. I think those are up. Oh, can't forget about this, can we? There we go. All right, one last long shot of all the consoles on display. So all the handhelds plus all the older, lighter consoles go on the shelf. And then I've got this new 6-tier thingo from Amazon. It was like 50 or 60 bucks. Pretty cheap, pretty easy to put together. And that's holding the more heavier consoles. And plus there are more in the cabinet as well. Or display, no. What would you call that? Just like a shelf. I don't think it's actually designed for a TV. Believe it or not, there's not many TVs sold of this size anymore, but I don't know, I found that at IKEA, so that's what I'm using it for. Here is my workstation, workshop, I guess, slash it's also going to be an extra computer desk if the need arises. And yeah, computer, got some equipment down there, microphone, cameras, that's my day bag, mostly used for my other channel. And yeah, I've just been mixing and matching the storage. So there's stuff here that's been taken off the shelf and moved around the room, freeing up space. Those are my lights slash, yeah, like tripods and lights. And yeah, my 3D printer, which as we can see has been used quite a bit. So yeah, I'm stoked. Besides from this video, I can finally start properly making videos again, both for this channel and my other channel, Brendan's Odyssey, both of which have videos in the pipeline. I think I've got 3 videos in the pipeline for this channel at the moment and several for the others, so very busy. One of which is this Mac Pro, which I found at the tip the other day. I really tried to not pick it up, but I just couldn't help myself. It was just sitting there, did a full-on operation. You know, you're obviously not supposed to take stuff from the tip, so I pretended to back into the electronic waste to get rid of something. My car was actually empty, but luckily the old mate there was helping someone else. So I did a quick dash, threw it in the back of the boot and drove off. The perfect crime, as Steve Wallace would say. So I've never dealt with a Mac computer at all, let alone a Mac Pro. I think it's from about 2009. I haven't turned it on yet, so that's going to be a future video where we try to get that running. I've got absolutely no idea about Apple in general. I'm filming on an iPhone right now. That's the only Apple product that I have. I have had a quick look in there. There's no graphics card, there's no hard drive. I've got plenty of graphics cards, plenty of hard drives. Will any of those work with the Mac? Who's to say? I guess we will find out. But that is the end of this video. I can play games there, I can fix games there, and then I can edit and everything else there, all on the swivel of a chair. Sorry if that's making you too dizzy. So I'll call it there. Thank you so much for watching. Excited for the future, and I'll see you there.